after-action report writing. This is the garage fire that was used for the ESO report writing, so to stay consistent, and that way you have an idea of what happened in that fire. We're going to do an after-action report for that incident. So I usually have this outline made out to where I can put in the date, time, location, who the IC was, incident number, and then the incident description, a couple pictures, things that went well, things that we could do better, and lessons learned. So that's like the quick outline of what the after action report should be. Now we'll go over like what information that you should have in it. So obviously the date, self-explanatory, time, that would be the time of dispatch, the location of the call, who the IC was. Obviously, if you're writing the after-action report, that's because you were the IC of the incident, and then the incident number itself. So in the description, so we're just going to leave this to pertinent information as far as what the crews were dispatched to, what happened, and what the crews did on scene, and then when the incident is completed. So we're not going to put in the investigation information. We're not going to put in, any narratives that was taken from bystanders unless it's pertinent to what we did on scene. And it's just a general summary of what happened and what units were responsible for while they were on scene. Pictures, that always helps people identify what they were looking at, what they saw, what happened during the fire. And then what we're really getting to is, essentially looking at the incident, thinking about what things we did well, and what things we could do better, and then lessons learned. So things that went well on this fire was a quick hose deployment, good size up and direction for water from the next company, recognizing fire was a working garage fire with a quick knockdown. So obviously, understanding that this is a garage fire, getting hose to the garage fire, getting water on the fire, putting it out quickly. Obviously, those are important things, and they went well on this fire. But then we look back and we think about things that could have went better. Now, these are things that we should be talking about and should have already had this conversation with the crews while on scene. This is more for sharing it with the entire department for everyone to learn from it. But these are things that you should have talked about and already gone over with crews at the incident scene. I don't think that it should be a surprise if somebody reads something and it's not something that was already talked about and communicated with them prior to reading it on this after action report. So things that could have been done better on this fire: identifying the location of the exterior man door and not allowing as much smoke into the home due to pulling the hose inside and accessing the garage from inside. So it's hard to see in this picture. There's a very slim opening that you can see in the back of that garage. So the man door was not on the B or D side of the garage. It was actually on the C side of the garage. So a complete 360 would have identified where that man door was, and it would have allowed crews to pull the hose to the back of the garage and come in the man door, rather than doing what was done, which was pulling the hose into the house and going through the kitchen, meaning that that door to the kitchen from the garage was open during the extinguishment of the fire, allowing for a lot of smoke to come into the household. And we could have avoided that had we seen the man door on the back of the garage and went through the man door. That's just something that we could have done better. The fire was put out. There was minimal smoke damage, inside the home. But we always think about what we did, what we could have done better, things that we've learned. So the lessons learned during this fire was a quick decision to pull hose to the garage, made for a quick knockdown. Although we had a quick knockdown, we allowed more smoke to enter the structure from the garage based on entering from the interior and not the exterior. The location of the exterior man door was not normal construction, so a detailed 360 could have identified its location better. Again, things that went well, things that we could have done better, and then lessons learned. So that the lesson to take from this is to complete your 360, get a good detailed 360, understand, ingress, egress, and all of that when you're looking at where is the best, position to put your crews for success, not just in putting out the fire, but limiting damage to the rest of the house. And obviously, with looking for extension and not having any extension outside of the garage, that was, success because of the quick knockdown. So again, this isn't saying that anyone did anything wrong. It's just identifying, okay, what could we have done better to mitigate this incident in a different way for the next time if we have something similar. And that's what these are. It's just for us to understand what happened, what went on, what we can learn from it, what we can do better. And that way if we identify things like this where we feel that, man, had a 360 identified that, we could have went in that way, it would have, had less smoke damage to the inside of the house. That would have been, a great thing. So now the next time, hopefully we don't have the same lessons learned on an after action report because we learned from this incident. So that's generally what we're looking for. Just something quick, something that gives a description of the event, things that went well, things that could have went better, and lessons learned, and then send it to the department for them to observe it and learn from it, and then Andy will put it on our department website, and it will be there for anybody to access and learn from in the future. Awesome. Thank you.